Hey, what's good, everyone? In today's session, my table ends up breaking, and you'll never guess what happens my very first hand. Alright, let's get it.
I belong to you.
I belong to you.
Do just what you want.
Today, I go play the 1-2 no limit game at the final table. I buy in for the max $400. I get my chips and head to the table. Starting off the session, we jump right into a double board bomb pot. The top board is 7 ace 8 with 2 spades, and the bottom board is queen 9 king with 2 spades. I have an up and down straight draw up top with 9-10 and bottom set on the bottom. Action checks to the player to my right, and he rips it all in for $105. Pretty sure my bottom set is no good, and on top, I'm really just fishing for a 6 or a jack for a straight. I make the call along with 2 other players, and we go 4 ways to a turn. The turn on both boards is amazing. The queen of clubs up top, and then the 3 of clubs on the bottom, now giving me the nut flush draw on both boards. Okay, definitely not going anywhere now. Surprisingly though, action checks through and we go to a river. Looking back, I think I could have just gone all in there with so much equity. The river on top board is a jack of spades, and then the bottom board is a 10 of spades, now completing the front door flush on both boards. No way I'm good here. Seat 8 leads out for $52. Seat 1 folds, and when action's back on me, this is an easy fold. For sure one of them has a flush. Just unfortunate I bricked out on both rivers. Like, come on, not even one club? Sheesh. I fold, and then C8 shows king 5 of spades for the nut on both boards. Starting off the session getting nutted on twice. Ado, man. Alright, moving on. I look down at 5-7 offsuit in the big blind, 3 players limp in, and I'm not gonna get too crazy here. I'm not on that much tilt yet. So I check and we go 4 ways to a flop. The flop is a pretty good one. 7-5-6 all offsuit, and I flop 2 pair. Action checks to me, and I get a little sneaky and check. The button bets out $5, the small blind calls, and then I raise it to $15. 2 players call, and we go 3 ways to a turn. The turn is probably the worst card you can ask for. The 8 of spades, now giving a 4-liner to a straight. First action's on me, and I check. The middle position then bets out $80. The button calls, and I quickly fold. The river pairs the board with another 6, and then the middle position bets out $100, and then the button folds. Alright, 0 for 2, heating up. This next hand, I look down at 6-7 of clubs and raise it to $8. 2 players call, and we go 3 ways to a flop. The flop is jack 5-10 with 2 clubs, and I flop a flush draw. Action checks to me, and I bet $12, and both players call. The turn is the king of diamonds. Action again checks to me, and you know I'm gonna double barrel, so I bet $24, and only 1 player calls. The river is a 10 of clubs, now completing my flush. It does pair the board, but if they had 2 pair or a set, they would have raised me by now. Action again checks to me, and I don't have much behind, so I go all in for $72, and my opponent tanks for about a minute. Before making the call, I show my flush, and my opponent mucks their cards. Much needed double up. Let's go. The very next hand. As you can see, I'm still piling up my chips from the previous hand. Always a great feeling. But we play a double board bomb pot. The top board is 10 jack ace all offsuit, and I have queen 9 for an up and down straight draw. And the bottom board is queen queen deuce, and I flop a full house. Hey, okay. Action checks through as I was hoping someone was gonna bet, so then I was gonna check raise them. The turn on the top board is the king of clubs, now giving me a straight, and the bottom board is the 5 of spades. This time when action checks to me, I bet $25 and 5 players make the call, and we go 6 ways to a river. The river on the top board is probably the worst card you can ask for. The ace of clubs, now pairing the board, and now I'm losing to a full house. And then the bottom board is the king of spades. This is kind of a tough spot because now I'm losing to king, queen, pocket kings, and I'm still losing to queen 5. Man, tough spot. Most of the times, I do think I'm getting stacked, but only I make the call, and my opponent shows pocket aces for quad aces on top. I show my queen deuce for a boat on the bottom, and we end up chopping the pot. Sucks that I got rivered up top, but I'll definitely take it. Before even looking at my cards, c6 raises it to $10 before I look at 5-3 offsuit, aka a natural 8 in Bach. One player calls, and when action's on me, you know I'm gonna defend my big blind with natural 8. I mean, come on, I'm only losing to a natural 9. So I just make the call, and we go 3 ways to a flop. The flop is a pretty good one. 6-4 queen with 2 diamonds, and I flop an up and down straight draw. Action checks me, and I check to the pre-flop raiser, and he bets out $15. The small blind folds, and I just make the call. Heads up to a turn, which is the deuce of clubs. Now give me a nut straight. I check expecting him to bet so then I could check raise him, but unfortunately he checks back. The river is the ace of clubs, rivering the backdoor flush draw. Not too worried about that though, and time to get some value. I don't want to bet too big to scare him off in case he thinks I went runner for the flush, so I bet out $40 and he quickly makes the call. I show my natural 8 and we're good. Whew, thank goodness he didn't show a natural 9 because that would have been a cooler. And I take down the pot. There's a $5 straddle under the gun, and I look down at pocket jacks. First action's on me, and I raise it to $20. One player calls, and then the middle position goes all in for 30. C6 calls, and when action's on me, I call along with the player to my left, as I can't re-raise the pot. 4 ways to a flop, which comes out king, king, ace. Surprise, surprise, mother. Aces and kings come out when I have pocket jacks? Wow, that never happens. I check, and then the player to my left goes all in, and c6 snap calls. I look down at my jacks again, and got some real thinking to do before making the snap fold, but I'll still run out the board. The turn is a 6, and the river is a 3. c6 takes down the pot with king 9 for trip kings. Nice hand, nice hand. So that table ends up breaking, and we move over tables. There's a $5 straddle on the button, and I look down at a premium, ace king offsuit. Welcome to the table, baby. The middle position raises to $15, and when action's on me, I 3-bet it to 50. Only the middle position calls, and we go heads up to a flop. The flop is a pretty good one. 7 deuce ace with 2 spades, and I flop top pair with top kicker. Action checks to me, and I bet out $25, and he makes the call. The turn is the 4 of hearts, which does bring another flush draw. He checks it over me again. This time, I bet out $60, and he makes the quick call again. At this point, I'm putting him on ace 10 to ace queen, and maybe a flush draw. I'm still confident I have the best hand. The river is the jack of clubs, which breaks both flush draws. He then rips it all in and has me covered. Not what I want to see. I tanked for about a minute, just going back over the hand. He raised a pre-flop $15, I 3-bet to 50, he just flat calls, and then he just flat calls my flop and turn bet, so he could be on some sort of draw. I don't think he's calling my 3-bet with pocket deuces or 7s, so again, it's either flush draw or ace jack or 2 pair. Either way, I just can't make this fold. So eventually, I make the call. And what do you know? My opponent shows ace jack for a river 2 pair and stacks me. See you on the river. Damn. What kind of welcoming to the table is this? Welcome to the table my ass. And just like that, I get stacked and call it a night. No outro today, but I was in for the game for 400 and out for 0. So thanks for watching and see you on the river. Just not tonight.
Clean on my melody.